Welcome to the first startup training method videos for trainers. In this video we're going to give an overview of the training slides and the philosophy behind the teaching and the objectives. If you are looking for detailed information on the slides, it's worthwhile that you take a look at the lecture section. This section just gives a philosophical overview as opposed to an introduction onto all the different stories. So the first thing that I do with the first lecture is just introduce myself. So here you would need to put together some kind of biography. The idea here is to build up some kind of credibility with the students. Ideally talk a little bit about your business experience and why they could actually learn something from you. The second thing that I do is I try and sell the course to the students. So here I get them a little bit excited about what they could be learning for the course. So this is telling them about the research, how they're going to learn how to think like a great entrepreneur, how they're going to behave like a great entrepreneur, get them excited about some of the research studies that they're going to be doing and be exposed to, that they're going to be learning techniques that are taught in some of the world's leading corporations. As well as the vast amount of information that the course was based on. So the course is actually built from over 1,000 different studies, and as you'll see, you'll go through the slides, many of those studies are represented graphically throughout the course. And then also it comes from over 300 books that I've gone through and taken the best information that I could find. Also, I try to sell them the idea that a lot of the information is what you would be taught at a business program where you'd be paying $500,000 or $250,000 to do, such as at Harvard University or Stanford, as a lot of the actual research is taken from professors doing research at these universities. Also, a number of people who've used the lean entrepreneurship process, which is one of the core foundations of the course, has produced many successful millionaires, companies like Dropbox, which are valued at billions of dollars, IMVU, which is doing hundreds of millions of rand sales, and a number of other companies have achieved amazing successes using the lean entrepreneurship process. Also, I give the examples. This is a photograph of the first course that we did, and many of the entrepreneurs actually started successful businesses, some of them landing over R1 million worth of funding, some of them getting a business up and running from scratch, doing 10 or 20,000 rand in sales, other of them learning their first major contracts. Also then, I would similar quality courses that I've been on usually sell for anywhere from 10 to sort of 50,000 rand, and hence what you're going to be learning in this course should be valued at that. So they should be very grateful that Enablus is funding the course and that they get to only pay a couple of hundred rand, and therefore they must value the course. The whole idea behind this is to make sure that they actually attend the course and actually take it seriously. If they don't actually place any value on the course, it's very unlikely that it's going to impact their business. What will you get from the course just speaks to what they should achieve by the end of the course. The first thing is that they're going to change their business from a low probability to a high probability business. The goal is that they have an up and running business by the end of the course, ideally earning them at least 10,000 rand a month. The next thing is that they're going to develop deep industry knowledge through the process that they go through the course, and the reason that this is that a lot of research has shown that great entrepreneurs have deep industry knowledge. They're also going to, a goal for the course is that they develop a large network of useful contacts through interacting with a number of different people. So how the course works just speaks to the formation of the course, that it's 10 4-hour sessions, that they're going to be performing tasks outside of the classroom, and that the actual whole success of the course is based on them doing activities outside of the classroom, not inside of the classroom. They get basically to-do lists and a little bit of contextual information on how to perform those activities, but really it's all about them going out there and doing it. Also, an important point to get across is that this course is a lot of hard work, and if they are wanting to get anything out of it, they've actually got to put in the work. Just like any entrepreneurial business, it's not just going to happen. You're going to have to put in a lot of work. You got to talk to at least 100 people is the goal that they should set for themselves, minimum. Ideally 200 to 300. Sounds like a large number, but over a 10-week period, if you chat to 2 people a day, that's 100 and is over 100 businesses, and if they're chatting to 5 people a day, then it goes up right up to 200 or 300. So it's very, very much a doable goal. Also, it's important that the entrepreneurs get open to the idea that they mustn't hang on to their business idea. And a lot of the students that I've worked with are set on a business idea which actually makes no sense. Fortunately, a lot of them interacting with customers in the market is going to teach them that that business idea is not maybe the best one, but also we should, from our side, be encouraging them that their business idea actually has to work in the real world. All the students are also expected to keep a journal or a blog of everything they do. This is very important from their perspective, just to actually be recording their learnings, because really how you start an entrepreneurial business, you learn from the real world as opposed from in a classroom. So really they writing their own textbooks. Also, it's important for the discussions and feedback to see what they're actually doing, and when they're filling in the questionnaires and the data collection from our perspective, that they're actually recording what they're doing every day, how many interviews they're doing, how many sales they're making. And then just the last half an hour of most sessions will be a report back and a filling in of the questionnaire, so it's important that they have that book for those things. Then a very important aspect of the course is the entrepreneurial culture. So the idea with the course is that we've got to get real with them. They are all now entrepreneurs, and that means that they are CEOs of their own businesses. So there's no hierarchy in the classroom. We're dealing with CEOs here, and they're expected to act like CEOs, and we're going to treat them like CEOs. But this course is also about being honest and direct and getting to the point and actually making a successful business happen, rather than being political or being very careful. We're rather just going to be honest and direct, and we expect them to treat us as trainers the same way. Then I just give an introduction of the startup method process, just sort of concept development, minimum viable business model, full business model, company growth. I talk about where it fits in the customer adoption life cycle, and then I just introduce them with concept development, where what really the concept development phase involves is them writing out a mini business plan where it's all their guesses. They then go and talk to people who really in the know, and then find out through talking to people whether their guesses are correct or not. And what they keep doing is they keep talking until everyone is saying that their business idea actually makes sense. Then they move on to stage 2, which is the minimum viable business stage, where they actually set up a small business that takes the least amount of time and energy to set up. So as opposed to setting up a restaurant, they would just set up a flea market. The idea here is that they are making sales in the first 2 or 3 weeks of the course, or at least getting users of their products. So they're actually learning about the business as opposed to just planning something. This obviously, it goes through the same process as talking to people, except now their guesses are actually doing. So they're finding out how long things take, etc., etc. And they're going through that same guess, test, learn cycle until they make sure that all of their guesses make sense. Then the final bit is that actually the course only covers stage 1 and 2 in the startup method process. 3 and 4 is actually once you've got sort of customers and a business model that's really growing like mad, and then obviously they should be able to afford a more expensive course. But the course actually ends there. The final session, you'll get a little bit of an introduction to the full business model and company growth. Then once I've done the first introductory lecture, we do our first exercise. The idea of this exercise is to teach them the importance of spending time getting the business model or business idea correct before they start on their entrepreneurial journey. Just because this has been shown to be one of the best predictors of whether a business will succeed or fail, is what actually the business idea is. So in this exercise, you get the class split into 2 or 3 groups depending on the size, and what they need to do is pass 3 colored chips. I usually use poker chips, but if you don't have poker chips, you can just go down to your Spar or Macro or Game and pick up a packet of colored paper clips, or not paper clips, clothing clips, and what you can do is pass those as opposed to the chips in 3 different colors. And what they need to do is pass the chips from one end of a table to another, or 2 cups if you have cups there, and you time them over 30 seconds. But beforehand, you don't tell them that the different colored chips are actually worth different points. Then what you do is, once they finish the exercise, you then reveal that the chips are actually worth different points, and that the green chips are worth 1 point, the red chips are worth 10 points, and the black chips are worth 1,000 points. Obviously, depending on which chips they moved across the most, those ones impact how much they scored. You then give them a second opportunity. Obviously, they're going to move all the black chips the time, and then you compare their first score to their second score. The idea there is it's a practical example of what you put on your to-do list every day. That if you're going to put 1-point activities, you're not going to be making a lot of money or building a successful business. The entrepreneurs that build a successful business are the ones that put 1,000-point activities right at the top of their to-do lists. So the example I use to make it practical is a street trader who works a 90-hour week, usually only earns tens of thousands of rand a year or over a couple of years. And then you have an example like Herman Mashaba, also came from a township, limited education, no cash, but he focused on 1,000-point activities. He started a business in the hair care industry, and he now earns hundreds of millions of rands a year because he focuses on 1,000-point activities. So the street trader focuses on 1-point activities, where Herman Mashaba focuses on 1,000-point activities. That's where the first session ends. Just then you can also have a little discussion about what are 1,000-point activities, just to get them start thinking about that before you introduce the idea that the number 1 1,000-point activity is getting the right business idea. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in session 2.